Hello, my name is Jodi and I'm a stylist here at hedkandi 8th Street. Today we'll do a little tutorial so you know how to use your at-home color kit. You definitely want to make sure to protect your clothes. So if you're doing this at home without the benefit of a cape, I would grab an old towel or an old sheet and drape that around yourself. You could also wear an old t-shirt that you wouldn't mind getting color on. Just don't let the color touch anything that you care about. Same thing goes for your bathroom floor, your countertop. Just really make sure to protect your surfaces because color gets everywhere. So we want to make sure that we're going to work clean and safe. Okay, so in your kit, you will receive something that looks similar to these two things. This is the developer, and this is the tube of color. Some of the color will come in bottles, but it'll either look like a tube like this or a little bottle, and you'll see the bottle when I do my toner afterwards. So color is measured in equal parts to the developer, and you can see on the side here, it's kind of hard to see, but there are little markings on the side to let you know how much you're mixing up. This is a 2-ounce tube, and the bottles are also 2 ounces. So however much color you use, you'll use an equal amount of developer. So I'm going to open the tube, and there's a little star on the end. Just pierce the tube. And today for me, I'm going to use half a tube or 1 ounce of color. Always cap your color right away so that it doesn't oxidize. Then I will measure out the equal amount of developer and start to mix those together. You can see the color is quite thick while it's in here by itself, and it will take a minute or two to incorporate it properly. When I'm mixing, I like to scrape down the sides of the bowl and make sure that I'm incorporating all of it. You want to keep stirring until it's one consistency. You don't want to see any lumps or bumps or any sort of texture. It should look nice and creamy when you're done. Okay, so I've got my color all nice and worked together. Before I start applying, I always like to make it organized in the bowl because one of the keys to an easy color application is working clean. So if I've got bunches of color all up on the top of my bowl here, it will stick to the outside of my brush and it will just get everywhere. So we want to be fairly precise when we're applying color. So you just want to make sure to clean up your bowl, scrape down the sides, just like if you were making cookies or something. This is the stuff you don't want on the outside of your brush. So I'll also have a towel nearby where I can just wipe it off and keep it mostly clean. Sectioning. So like I was saying, the easiest way to apply color is by working clean and working neat. So before we even start, we will clip our hair into 4 quadrants so that it's easier to control and you know where the hair is coming from when you take your sections. So in your kit, you will receive little clips like this, something that looks like that, a little metal clip. And what we'll do is go right down the center. And it doesn't need to be exact, but you just want to help yourself out by getting this as organized as possible. So now I've got my hair completely divided in half. Then I'll just go from the top of my head to behind my ear. And I'm going to take that and clip it away. Do the same thing with this section in the back. And like I said, these sections do not need to be equal. We just want to get into manageable chunks. Now that is a look. Okay, next important thing is hand protection. We don't want color all over our hands ever. And especially those of you guys who will be using dark colors, it will stain. So, gloves on. So you can see underneath here I do a little thing with I leave a little chunk of my natural color. So we'll just pretend that's not there. We'll just pretend this is all normal section. And you can clearly see where my roots are. And this is where I'm going to apply the color. I'm not gonna drag it down into the lengths of my hair. I want it only at the roots. You can see this dark line is where my color has grown in. So, here we go. And the first thing I'm going to do is outline this section. And when you do that, you can use the color to help push hair that you don't want to be involved. See how it's keeping it out of the way. Now I'm being very careful in my hairline, especially again for those of you who are using darker color. A little trick you can do is take some like night cream, a little bit of thicker face cream, and apply it along your hairline before you start your color as a little bit of a barrier. You don't want to get it on your hair though. So if you choose to do that, just make sure that you don't get it on your hair. It will help to prevent staining. But if you work clean and you remove the color from your face as soon as you can, it shouldn't stain too bad anyway. So I've got my section outlined. I'm going to apply over here just to keep these hairs down and organized. And then I'll start taking my sections. So I'm taking sort of a diagonal section from my front hairline to my part line. You can take horizontal sections. The shape of the section is less important than the thickness. The thickness really needs to be quite fine. If you take too big of a section, the color won't penetrate that section properly, and you'll have uneven lifting. You can see through my section. So if you hold a comb up and you can't see through your section, then it's too big. Moving on to section 2. Now, because I'm right-handed and we're starting to get into my left side, my more awkward side, I'm going to be taking partings from the back of the section. And like I said before, the size or the shape of the section matters less than the width of the section. So however you need to twist yourself to get in here, to get your roots done without getting color everywhere else, it's okay. Now for the back. The back is not easy, but because we're working clean, I'm gonna put even an extra clip in the section that I'm not doing. so I can tell if I'm starting to get too big of sections. I'll pull all this other hair out of the way. I can even put a clip down at the bottom. We don't want to clip over hair color that's working in the hair, but if it's down here, it's okay. So I know I'm working this section, and a lot of this is gonna come into feel, okay? I'm gonna be checking my mirror to the right of me here, so I have a better view, because the camera only shows me so much. Wow, that is a look. Who thought I would be on TV making videos looking like this? So I'm outlining my section again. I'm gonna go all the way to the bottom. Start at the top. And feel my way down. Now you'll also notice I don't have a ton of color on my brush. I don't want to have a big load like this. This is very hard to control. So I'll always have the least amount on my brush that will work. And I'm going to start taking diagonal sections. You can use your other hand to hold this hair down as you're applying so it doesn't get stuck to your brush and travel up and get messy. And you just continue to work your way down, feeling, taking a good close look in the mirror. For those of you that have the bathroom mirrors with the one behind and you can see what you're doing. But if we work with thin sections and take our time going down, anything is possible. So once again, I'm going to get this section out of my way in the front. Not clip over any fresh color that's on there. I'm going to outline my section again. And pull the hair straight out from my head so that I can see the application. So you can see when I take my section, I lay it down firmly and I hold on to it while I'm applying so that the hair doesn't stick and lift up as you're trying to apply. Okay, so now I'm going to go through and check, just move the hair around without pushing on it. I'm lifting and pulling back to just see if there might be anywhere that I've missed, aside from this area. Everything should feel kind of goopy. When you look at your hairline in the back, you shouldn't see any little hairs that aren't covered. And if you're trying to cover gray, it's a really good idea to come back in and just give a little tap right around the front. So you know those hairs are really well saturated. So So now I'm going to let it process. This color processes for 45 minutes. All of our colors process for anywhere between 20 and 45 minutes, and your instructions will tell you your correct processing time. So now you can sit back with a glass of wine and enjoy doing nothing. While you're processing, you want to make sure to go back in and check for any color that may have ended up all over your face or down your neck or on your ears. So just take a damp towel and just lightly dab if you've got anything that's sitting outside your hairline. You don't want to wipe the color off the hair at the hairline, even though it is a gray area between your hair and your skin. If you wipe it off, it won't take correctly. So make sure that you don't wipe color off that needs to be there. But if you've got a blob or a smear or anything, get that off as soon as possible so that you don't end up with stains. Okay, my color's been sitting for 45 minutes and it's ready to come down. When you're rinsing, if you have a shower head that you can pick up, you can take that and stand in the shower, keep your eyes closed, your head tilted back, and just let the water run away from your face. If you don't have that shower head, same thing, face tilted up, let the water run away from your face, keep your eyes closed. Move your hair around as you're rinsing so that the water gets in everywhere, and you'll probably want to rinse for a good 3 minutes. It takes a while for the color to start leaving your hair, so really make sure you rinse well, then give it a good thorough shampoo, great condition, and then just in case there's any little traces of color left in your hair, don't use your favorite white towel as soon as you're out of the shower.